very good evening. It's good to have you join us on the presentation of Channel 8 News. My name is Nafisatu Abdulhamid Dembos. The Nigerian Red Cross Society has urged people residing in flood-prone areas to adhere to early warnings by authorities and take immediate actions and relocate to safer areas to avoid casualties and loss of properties. The National Disaster Advisor of the Society, Tanimu Adapson, stated this at the end of the two-day meeting organized for 7 vulnerable communities in the state. Correspondent Muazu Huzaifa reports.
Speaking at the end of a 2-day inception meeting for early warning flood vulnerable communities project in Yola, the Red Cross official emphasized the need for timely community response on flood alert. He warned that failure to act quickly may result to loss of lives and property, especially in rural and low-living communities.
To also enlighten them on what are the necessary steps to take when you see some signs of early warnings that indicate that the area is about to flood. And we are happy because the attendance is very, very good and people have made very meaningful contributions, except that we want to also appeal to our communities that we cannot always be sitting and be repeating one and the same thing over and over. There's flood for the past 10 years, we are still in that area. Perhaps we think government should also come up with some measures to make sure that some of these things, they come up with policy directions, that such areas that are very, very much prone to this flood should also see if they can at least create some buffer zone or find areas where they can relocate them within those seasons, and after that they can get back.
Representatives of the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency, NISA, and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, spoke extensively on risks associated to rainfall.
This prediction is being carried out. Various stakeholders are being involved, the government, non-governmental, CSO, and whatsoever. So the information is very vital. It is now, there is a time frame to start taking action towards mitigating any flood-related issue that has to do with torrential flooding. So therefore, the rainfall prediction is always frequent, and after the seasonal climate prediction, there are predictions we do give, forecasts we do give time to time. Whenever there is rainfall or anticipation of any rainfall, the agencies releases continuously information about rainfall amounts.
Prediction is saying currently now is we are at the warning level, because as of last week or yesterday, the water level is in Jimeta Bridge is around 4.2 something. So normally when the water gets to 5 point, it's flooding already. So you see the water is 4.2, so the flooding is approaching. And at the Uroboki, the water level is around 5 point something. And at the Uroboki, when the water gets to 6, it's flooding. So basically what I would say, we are at the warning level for now.
As the rainy season intensifies, stakeholders continue to call on the public to stay alert, take warning seriously, and work hand in hand with emergency managers in order to safeguard lives. In Yola, Maazu Zefa, NTA News.
The State Police Command has arrested 3 suspected armed robbers who have been on the command wanted list for their involvement in a series of crimes along Numan-Demsa Highway. A press statement signed by the Police Public Relations Officer SP Suleiman Yahya Nguruji said the suspects were arrested in collaboration with the State Intelligence Department CID. SP Yahya Nguruji added that the suspects confessed to several armed robbery activities and mounting of illegal roadblocks, including the robbery incidents that occurred on 1st July 2025 that involved Muharazu Abdul Rauf, during which they carted away cartons of mobile phones and accessories valued 2,803,000 naira. In a related development, another suspect from Gruri, Yola South local government area of the state, was arrested as a vendor of those items robbed from the victims, where 2 phones and chargers were recovered. The police image maker added that all 3 suspects are in custody and will be charged to court after completion of investigation. Nguroje added that the Commissioner of Police, Maurice Ankombo, commended the swift action of the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the Bureau, his operatives, and the support of local hunters in combing crimes. He further urged members of the public to remain vigilant and continue to support the police with timely and useful information. Away from the state capital, the search for compressed natural gas for motorists in Abuja who converted their cars has become a frustrating nightmare and experience. The surge in CNG conversions is colliding with an acute scarcity of filling stations, further compounded by sharp practices that leaves many drivers stranded. Lydia Samson reports on how CNG users now spend endless hours allegedly sleeping in CNG queues. Her reports.
The introduction of compressed natural gas for many motorists who embrace CNG conversion is about chasing a cleaner, cheaper path. Yet, a challenge looms. Scarce filling stations like distant stars barely lighten the night for thousands. Over 100,000 vehicles now vie for inadequate stations. Sylvester Abuasi's frustration is not limited to him alone.
They give preferential treatment to people that are willing to give them tips. So this is what we are facing, and that's why you too as a person cannot just go in and easily buy.
His experience resonates with many other CNG users.
We are sleeping here 2 days, 2 days sometimes, 1 day sometimes, sometimes hours.
The availability of it is that for one, the station I believe is not enough. The people who have converted are higher than the demand now is higher than the supply that it has already.
I'd converted my car to compressed natural gas, and initially, like about a year ago, it was exciting to have cleaner and cheaper alternative. But right now, the major challenge is that many motorists have converted, but capacity of filling station is a major challenge. You can't believe that we're told that the whole of this place that looked like a park is actually motorists who had converted their cars waiting for CNG. And they could wait for hours. Some even spend the night. As a CNG user who for months avoided the visible queues due to my schedule, I can genuinely identify with these experiences. A member of a WhatsApp platform of over 1,000 CNG users, Sylvester Abua believes constant supply and an enabling environment for more private sector investment could help ease the pressure.
They should also make the environment a soft landing for people that are ready to invest and have more of mega stations that will service the need at the moment. The demand outweighs the supply. So we need the government to help us to give an enabling environment for investors who are willing to invest.
For now, the government's vision sings loud: 150 stations by year's end and 1 million converted rides by 2027, fueled by billions invested and a growing network of conversion centers.
In other CNG, infrastructure, we are looking at expanding in, putting up refuel stations, daughter stations, mother stations, and whatnot, because this is what will fuel the entire CNG adoption within the length and breadth of the country.
Safety is number one. We have to be very careful about that, and we need to make sure what we are bringing out, we are getting the result back at the end of the day.
Yet, the private sector's cautious steps reflects the lofty toll of billion-naira ventures needed to build new stations, a costly symphony requiring both courage and capital.
Investment will lag demand if the environment is in a growth phase. But as that happens, because investment continues to come in, then supply will increase, and then demand and supply will balance out, right? And also price will then come down. So we are seeing that is a classic economics, and I think what I tell my folks is that let's be patient.
It is obvious that together, government's resolve and private ambition must meet in partnership